body bags were whore lies.
Who is this irresistible creature who has an insatiable love for the dead?
Hey guys, happy Thursday, this is your Fright Chick speaking. Okay, this week's theme is Roger Corman week, and I've picked one of my all-time favourites, Death Race 2000. This film is insane. Okay, I only own the reboot with Jason Statham, Death Race, and that's amazing, but this one really is just as great. I mean, I don't even know where to start with this film. Okay, so it stars David Carradine, and it has Sylvester Stallone in it as well. I don't really know many of the other actors, but I'm sure they're famous in America. So yeah. So Death Race 2000, the basic plot is we have like a totalitarian America. There's been a big oil crisis at some point in the past, and everything crashed. They blamed it all on the French, which I love. I'm British, we're supposed to blame it all on the French, but you did it too, America. So yeah, there's a big crash, and they've elected a lifelong president called Mr. President. So they've set up a race, death race, obviously, and every year they have a select group of drivers, and they basically just take this specific route for over 3 days, and they have to win the race, but they also get points, and they get points by knocking down just everyday people. If you're out on the street during these 3 days, you really shouldn't be, because they just knock over anyone, and the more points they get depends on how old you are. So if they knock over a baby as opposed to an old man, they get way more points for like killing kids. It's insane. So there's lots of scenes where like they're doing the race, and there'll be like people having picnics and people just walking along the street, and they're just like fucking going for them and just running them over, and it's insane. But it is really funny to watch, I must admit. Can you imagine if this happened in real life? Like an actual specified event for this sort of stuff. So yeah, David Carradine plays Frankenstein, who is the most famous driver of them all. I think there's only about 5 or 6, no, there's about 5 drivers in this, I think. I can't remember all their names, but the top 2 are Frankenstein and Machine Gun Joe Viterbo, who is played by Sylvester Stallone. These two are big rivals because obviously they want to win, and they are the best drivers, and they've just got super amounts of beef between each other. I think there's Calamity Jane, Matilda the Hun, and there's a Romany one. I can't remember his name though. I don't know his name. Let's just call him Caesar. That's not it, but whatever. So yeah, we follow each of the drivers and their navigators, and they just kind of do their thing on the race. We get to see the race, but there's also a subplot going on. I can't speak. There's a subplot going on where this woman is very much against the death race. You know, they think it's disgusting. How could you do this to people? I can't believe this. We hate the government. We hate Mr. President. And she enlists the help of her granddaughter Annie, who becomes Frankenstein's new navigator. So she's in the car with him the whole time, getting to know him. They basically are trying to infiltrate the race so that they can stop it, and that they can take out Mr. President, they can take out all the drivers. So then we've got that going on as well, which is quite interesting, because Annie is very much like, I hate you, Frankenstein, I need to take you down, and so that we can take down the race and Mr. President. But then as the film goes on, she comes to realise that he doesn't like Mr. President either. He's got his own plans of taking down the race and taking down Mr. President, and she's kind of torn between her grandmother's, you know, ways and his new thing that, you know, she didn't know about before. So it is good. There is sort of a story going on here, people, apart from all of the needless violence and racing. Really, it's a good film, it's a good watch. I mean, it's not like the most amazing thing out there, and the acting isn't obviously the best, but for the film it is tongue-in-cheek, it is silly, and it is a ridiculous idea, but it's very fun to watch, I must admit. And David Carradine is just so badass in this movie. He really is. Just he's got the whole smouldering, I am Frankenstein, I am cool, I'm gonna take down Mr. President thing going on. Pretty fun to watch. And yeah, I don't really want to give away the ending or anything, because it is a pretty fun ending, I will say that. It's definitely worth the watch. It's actually worth paying a bit of money for as well. Normally I say don't pay more than a £5, but I would pay that for this because I think it was good. Yeah, and they did obviously do a reboot with Jason Statham, which is actually just as good. It's a very, very good film. So yeah, I don't really have anything else to say, because that is the film. You know, you watch them racing, they kill a bunch of people, and and there is a Mr. President who's, you know, the whole government in one person, and they need to take him down. That's it. Give it a watch. It is fun, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.